Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a you versus them love reading for Pisces. We'll explore your energy, the energy of the person on your mind, and the dynamic between you. Not to fix or chase anyone, but to support your clarity, self-trust, and emotional steadiness. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance. For my Pisces, please. Okay, your person's energy is showing up as the Chariot card in reverse, so you could be dealing with a Cancer or someone with Cancer placements. Your energy, the Two of Wands, and what's going on between the two of you is the Eight of Swords. Okay, so feeling a little bit trapped. There's something you're not seeing, maybe stuck in a karmic cycle here. And we see the Knight of Wands. So some of you, Pisces, you're dealing with Aries, Leo, Sag, or someone with fire placements. We also have this strong Cancerian energy. I'm also seeing here some of my Pisces, this could be a long distance connection, or there's distance here, or your person has stopped coming towards you. But it feels like something here needs to evolve or needs to change. Like you're stuck in a karmic cycle together. So it could be a cycle of like breaking up and then making up. Or it could be that, you know, you ask for certain things to change, this person to show up more, to be more emotionally available, and they kind of do that for a little bit, but then they go back to their old ways. All right, you're here in the Two of Wands wanting to move forward, but also knowing that a decision needs to be made so that you can get unstuck here. All right, I do think you're both thinking a lot about each other, about this connection. It kind of feels like your person's not giving emotionally to this connection. Or they could be someone who's been a bit overly emotional and maybe a bit dramatic here. But with the Knight of Wands, this person is somebody that definitely wants to come towards you. Yeah, we see the Queen of Wands. This person I feel is passionate, sexy, successful. Business might be something that gets in the way, or their work. All right, let's see. How are they viewing you? The Death card in reverse, Scorpio energy. So they haven't fully let you go, but they may feel like you're being a little bit sneaky or secretive right now. It could also be a little bit manipulative, and that's not to say, Pisces, that you are being manipulative, but it's how this person is viewing the situation. And somebody with unhealed wounds or commitment issues may feel like you setting boundaries or you saying what your expectations are could certainly be, oh, Pisces is trying to control the situation, or Pisces is just trying to get their way. So with the Two of Wands here, I feel like you know that it's time to make a decision here about this connection. Yeah, the Five of Swords in reverse. A lot of you, you're just kind of laying low right now. I feel like you may want to heal things with this person or just get on the same page. But I also feel like you're kind of sick of drama and sick of the back and forth. You're checking in with your nervous system. I do think you're probably feeling a little bit dysregulated here. All right, and you're viewing them as the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So they may have some unhealthy habits. There may be some codependency here. But I'm also seeing with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, like this person may prioritize work. I also feel like, yeah, like you're recognizing that something here is a little bit off or unhealthy. All right, so the Eight of Swords tells me there's something karmic in nature or a karmic cycle here that kind of keeps repeating, Pisces. They're viewing the relationship as the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So they're seeing this as something long-term, stable, secure. Maybe some of you, you've been in a long-term connection with this person. For others of you, they definitely see abundance. You know, he's standing outside of his castle with this like jewel encrusted shield. So definitely they see like a lot of abundance. They don't see this connection ending by any means. Some of you too, they're working really hard to build stability and a foundation so that this can move towards like a higher level of commitment, moving in together, moving to be with you if they're at a distance, or you moving to them. So it's like this person is definitely seeing like future and long term here, Pisces. And you're viewing the connection as the Star card, Aquarius energy. So, you know, I do feel like this is, you see that this connection can be healed. This may be your wish fulfillment. But it's like an eventually card. And for some of my Pisces, it's like this waiting, or the amount of time that it's taking is really starting to get to you, or you feel like, okay, I see a future, I want things to be healed, but there's still things that are going on here that are dysregulating for me or stressing me out. And we see the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and some of you, again, you're wondering, is this just going to be a missed opportunity? Is this something that I should invest in? The Ace of Pentacles in reverse for me as a reader is also a yes, but not right now. So it feels like there's definitely a timing issue, and it feels like that timing is really getting to you. But you're also seeing certain things that you don't really, there's certain things that you feel need to change. Okay. So let's see what else we need to know about this person. What else do we need to know about this person? All right, happy family in reverse. Okay, so some of you, this person's not quite ready for the next step. They could also be somebody who's still reacting to like a divorce or a separation, or they come from instability. I'm not seeing necessarily that they have commitment issues, but I feel like this person doesn't feel like they're quite ready to move things forward. They want to, and I feel like they're planning to. Okay, with action, yep, like they want to take action. They recognize there's a soulmate connection, but I feel like they don't feel they're in the place to do that, to take the next step. And we see deceit, all right? So they may not have disclosed this to you yet. This person may kind of, I just kind of feel like they go along, Pisces, with what you say, or they hear what you want or what you need to change, but then they still kind of move at their own pace. And it could be some disregard there as well. Some of you, what I'm getting with deceit and action, this person keeps putting something off. So let's say for some of you, they need to finalize a divorce somewhere else. You know, they say, okay, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm working on it, right? It'll happen. But, you know, and for others of you, it's like, okay, you know, we can move in together, you know, next week, or not next week, but, you know, like at this time and date. Or I just kind of feel like they're not completely open and honest, or purposefully ambiguous about like the timeline here, even though that they do see this continuing. But I feel they're a bit ambiguous and purposefully shady about taking action or forward movement. Okay, and yeah, and I feel like they're being strategic because they don't want to lose you. They don't want to lose this, but then there's something here that they're not really being honest with you about, is what I'm getting. About their timeline, or how comfortable they are moving things along just yet. Okay, interesting messages. So let's see. What do we need to know about this person? So their shadow, we see unlovable. Practice radical self-acceptance and love yourself with all your flaws. Okay, so this person may feel a little bit like they're not, you know, that they're unlovable, or they really do a lot of nitpicking on them, you know, with themselves. And incomplete. You want someone who completes you, but you need to be whole on your own. Yeah, and I feel like I feel like they feel complete with you. But at the same time, like there's always something missing. You know, we can see the center of this bread has been eaten or cut out, right? There's always something a little bit missing, and it comes from this energy of feeling unlovable. And I also feel like it keeps them from telling the truth or being completely authentic. All right, we see unsocial. You need to get out and mingle with new people so you can meet someone. Sometimes this person, I feel like they prioritize work, or they don't really socialize with anybody else much but beyond you, Pisces. Although that is interesting because the Knight and the Queen of Wands is somebody who gets a lot of attention, is very social, but I kind of feel like they don't have like close friends around them. Like they don't make like a whole lot of meaningful connections. Okay, let's see what they want to say to you. What does this person want to say to my Pisces? I felt like you didn't care. Okay, so sometimes they may feel like you don't see their side of the story. But they do want you to be a part of their future. I mean, that's certain. Like, they do want this commitment. It's like, not that they're completely non-committal. It's more like their timeline is weird or confusing. And it's like they kind of keep putting things off, or they're not coming towards you. And you kind of get your hopes up, and then it doesn't happen, is kind of what I'm getting here. Is there anything that we're not seeing here that my Pisces need to be aware of? Is there anything that we're not seeing that my Pisces need to be aware of here? Okay, so this person is learning from past mistakes and blending families. Again, if this person has children from another connection, you know, they may be worried about that. They might be worried about compatibility within your, you know, whether your family's going to accept them, your friends and family will accept them, or vice versa. Especially if you come from very different backgrounds. Also, if there's been a lot of back and forth between the two of you, I'm kind of getting this person's worried that like your people don't like them. And we see the relationship blossoming. So we do see there's potential for forward movement here. Okay, let's get some advice and guidance about this person or this connection. Heart with a key. So welcoming love, meeting the one. They do feel like you're the one. They're opening their heart, getting together, perfect. And then we see karmic relationship. I do think this person is affected by a karmic connection. Maybe somebody they have children with in the past, or another connection that didn't work out. I do see them still reacting to that, Pisces. I don't feel like this is, I mean, there's definitely something karmic in nature, which means there are lessons. There's something that needs to be worked through, something that you guys need to get out from under in order to move forward. But it's like this person does love you. It's just they're kind of they're like shady about their timeline and maybe the actual reasons behind it. All right, let's see. In your advice and your energy, we see clock, spirit saying timing issue. It needs time. Their progress can be made, and there is real love here. See, I was getting that. There's unconditional love, but you have to be in the energy of self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. So passion, affection, and attraction is here. There's even love here. It's just your person is still reacting to a previous karmic situation, or you need to get out of this karmic cycle here. And you both can see that happening. It's just your person needs to really open up about why they're dragging their feet, or what timeline actually really works for them. And some of my Pisces, I feel like you've been more than patient. So it's about taking into consideration also what you want and what you need. Yeah, because we see addiction here. Some of you, they might be a workaholic. There may be some codependency here. We picked up on that earlier. Obsession, possession, controlling, has a block or has a restraint. But what's being highlighted for me is this person has a block or a restraint. And it's like they're not letting you in. But you know, because their actions, because they're not coming towards you when they say they will, or, you know, or in a timely manner. All right, let's see what their very next actions are towards you, Pisces, in the next, couple of days. What are their very next actions towards my Pisces? Okay, have faith, Taurus energy, Magician energy, Nine of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, I feel like the Eight of Cups. I mean, I don't know if you're in separation from this person, or you might feel like that's where it's going, or their actions kind of tell you that maybe they're just not moving forward. The Magician energy in reverse still tells me not communicating, not taking action, maybe losing a little bit of hope or faith here, because this person's really stressed. They're really stressed, and it's also because you're in the Five of Swords energy in reverse. You're not really, you're doing some soul searching here. And we see the Queen of Pentacles, but they still do want to invest in this connection. Pisces, you have to be careful, because I mean, I could see that, I feel like a lot of you who are connecting with this reading already feel like this person may have kept you waiting long enough to take whatever the next step is. Moving in together, being exclusive, getting married, whatever it is, you know, and for some of you, there's distance here, and it's about, just one moment. Okay, sorry about that, Pisces. You know, it's like they want and they see this connection moving towards this stability. That's what they want with you. But it's like right now, there's a huge timing issue, and they're kind of freaking out about it. And with the Magician in reverse, they're also not being completely honest. They're being a little bit sneaky. So it's like I said earlier, they take what you say into consideration, and they are kind of on their best behavior for a little bit, but then they go back to just doing what they will. So I do see a little bit of I'm not saying that they're breaking up with you or walking away from this connection, but I do think that they're going to be reacting to your silence, to you pulling back, to you being really pensive. They're going to be really stressing about it, but they're not giving up on the connection. Okay, so you know, you need to be careful here, Pisces, about somebody keeping you single, keeping you in a gray area, and not having any follow through, because it feels like you've given this person chances. All right, so let's see what the quiet truth says. Ground before you do any interpreting. Okay, you're safe to wait. Okay, you don't need to rush things. You don't need to move at their pace. You're allowed to change your mind, okay, about this connection, about this person, about what you need. All right, and we see your feelings are responding accurately. So don't gaslight yourselves. Don't let anybody else gaslight you either. Your feelings are responding accurately. And it feels like to somebody who's very passionate, somebody who wants to invest and sees long term, but doesn't always say what they mean and mean what they say, or they're dragging their feet. And you don't need permission here, Pisces. You don't need permission to, you know, to heal. You don't need permission to move on. You don't need permission to tell them how you really feel if that's what you need to do. All right, my lovely Pisces, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.